What's up, everybody? It's a new week. I know how it is. How are you quarantining? Okay, let's get serious. God, man, shout out to all the medical personnel out there just wearing this. It's lots of work, man. Crazy. What's up, everybody? It's a new week and we're here to drown you in the pool of entertainment. Yes, a lot of stuff happened this week on our social media platform. This week on this edition, however, we're going to focus on one particular thing. And I hope that you don't blink because this particular show, oh my goodness, is driving me insane. Insane for real. I'm about to contaminate you with that. Before I'm going to dive into telling you anything that happened in our entertainment industry this week, you see that red button below? Click it right now. I'm talking to you. Click the red button below. Yes, the red button. Oh, you won't click? I'm leaving, bro. Okay, I was kidding. Let's dive right into it. How is the confinement? Remember to stay home. Coronavirus, not a joke. Please, not a joke. It's taking lives, man. By the way, on this edition of the show, were you all following on social media? At the beginning of one of our episodes, I did inform you that Jovi, the man, took some time off social media in the beginning of this year, 2020, and he hasn't been saying anything on Twitter. I also did promise you that when he finally does and gets back to his keyboard, every place is going to break loose, of course, and that's exactly what happened recently. When Jovi the man got to social media and boom, declared himself best in Africa. Why? Because Sarkodie said something. I'm here to dissect that for you. Don't go anywhere. No man, no pass me. If you know man. Yes, so before I even fill you in with what happened this week as far as that is concerned, let me take you down what transpired before all of the craze erupted on social media and Jovi couldn't stop venting on his keyboard. So in a cold afternoon, I don't know what was going on through Sarkodie's mind, but of course he's a rapper. He went on his social media platform and what did he post? He said he needed some hard hip-hop beats. I was like, oh, okay, that's basic. Like, he's a rapper, he just needs a hard hip-hop beat. That's something that is not hurting anybody. That's what he demanded. And of course, guess what happened? One of the people distributing the merch, of course, Mboko Gang's merchandise, Pius Berry, came to react on this. But let's not talk about that. What caught my attention was Jovi's response. Jovi came responding and what did he say exactly? He said, oh, so this is the person you guys are comparing me with. Well, when Sarkodie made that tweet, let's not totally put Pius Berry's tweet out of it because, of course, this also sparked a lot of stuff on social media. He came on saying that how possible is it that a hip-hop artist like Sark is going to be asking for a hip-hop beat? He did compare it with, of course, Jovi. He said anytime Jovi needed a beat like this, he gets into the studio and he makes the beat happen himself. Okay, we were thinking that this was the end of the saga. Yeah, so in all of this thing, what did Mboko God have to say? Jovi the Mons came on social media as usual. Man, it's been a long time coming and dude had to react, and this is what he said. I'm the hardest rapper in Africa. Sorry, I'm still to see a contender. As for the other rappers you mentioned, only Manifest has my respect. The others, to be honest, is not here. He went ahead to add that I can't fit into your regular nomination box. I work too hard to lose. If we are talking music, I'm interested. If we are talking raps, every region or city or country has a king. You can't change that. 10 years from now, all this won't matter. What will matter is the music. Man, this particular tweet kind of was really confusing to me because if you are saying that all of the I'm the biggest, I'm the best in Africa, I'm the this, I'm the king, and that doesn't matter. If all the music is going to matter in 10 years, why is the reason for all of the fight of who is the king and who is the best anyway? Well, of course, that's not where it ended. I mean, social media was really crazy. People, as usual, got on Jovi's case to screenshots on several blogs talking about how Jovi, of course, has attacked the best in Africa, including several Cameroonians. Did this end? No. There are so many people who are always waiting for a situation like this to bounce on the case. But before that happens, let's stop. Who is really the hardest in Africa? And by hardest, what do we mean? I mean, when Jovi says he's the hardest, what does he actually mean? When MI came last time, I was claiming that he's the hardest in Africa. What did he mean? Was this related to versatility? And when we talk about versatility, we're talking about the ability to multitask as an artist. Are you just a writer, a songwriter, a CEO of a label, of course, a sound engineer, a producer, or you are just a rapper, or you are doing just one thing? Or when they talk about hardest in Africa, they're talking about international recognition, or they're talking about your discography, or they're talking about the longevity of service in the music industry. Or what are they actually really talking about? I mean, some people came on social media and they were trying to compare all of these things, but if you want to look at these two guys, for example, I had to dig a little on the internet to find out who actually really is the hardest. I mean, if we're looking at versatility, for example, let's start from there. I mean, I think this is the reason why all of this thing went crazy, because Sarkodie came and I was asking for a hip-hop beat, a hard hip-hop beat. Is that where Jovi beats him? Of course, we already know that Jovi is not just a rapper. Jovi also a sound engineer and he makes his own beats. Is Jovi making beats only for his songs? Of course not. Jovi has pretty much produced all of his albums and EPs, and he does that for Rainies and people under his record label. Have you ever thought of the energy that is put into that? Talking about international recognition, of course, we already know who is more famous as far as this is concerned is Sarkodie. If you are saying that hardest is in terms of recognition, international recognition, we totally give that to Sarkodie. I know some Ghanaians or Nigerians are going to come under this post and be saying stuff like you don't even know Jovi. You don't need to know anybody. Some of you are here and you've heard of Jesus and you don't even believe that he exists. So I don't know what you're actually really talking about right now. But if you want to visit other stuff like discography, you're looking at discography, you're looking at the amount of songs that Jovi has put out. 4 albums in the past decade. He has put out 4 albums and about 6 EPs. His discography is really heavy. And you look at what Sarkodie has put out, similar thing, a similar thing. When you're talking about discography, it's a similar thing. Now, if we're talking about language, for example, language, Jovi raps in Pidgin English, he raps in English, he raps in French, he raps in his mother tongue. Of course, that's power right there. That's strength. What about Sarkodie? Sarkodie raps in English language, of course. He has had very few raps in English language, and of course, the national dialect of Ghana. I don't know what that is called, but I know that that's what he was actually known from, and even recognized BET International Act that he received some years back. But yeah, we already know that in French and other languages, does he have? No. Okay, so if we're talking about languages and how you put out your punchline, I know some of you came and you were saying that, oh, if you think that Sarkodie is harder than Jovi, put out some of his punchlines, and I was like, that's crazy. That's a crazy way to even compare rap, because I think that rap cuts across language. I don't think Jovi has a problem with rapping in a language that is foreign, or if that was a case, why is he trying to groom Tata in rapping in some other language that everybody doesn't understand? So I'm thinking this really not about language. Okay, so if we're talking about awards, for example, which was the last on my list, because we have visited versatility, we have talked about international recognition, we have talked about the ability, of course, their discography. Now I want to talk about awards. Look at awards, for example. The internet says that as of right now, Sarkodie has received over 87 awards out of 157 nominations. How many awards does Jovi have? Of course, we know about Karawa nomination, we know about MTV-based nominations that happened some time back, and he had issues even traveling with his team. We know about a few awards that Jovi has been nominated for. How many has he actually really taken? But again, if we want to look at it from this perspective, we will again give it to Sarkodie. But again, does awards define our strength in hip-hop? If it does, it means that Drake is a better rapper than Tupac or Biggie, right? Because of course, Drake has like 4 Grammys, and the 2 names that are earlier called don't have any. So does award actually really define how hard you are? Oh man, I mean, it's for you to judge. We want to know in the comment section below, what do you think about who really is the hardest? Because you're talking about discography, these 2 are almost on the same level, except for the fact that Jovi has a few more EPs above Sarkodie. International recognition, I don't think that Jovi has all of that happening as far as international recognition is concerned. Of course, talking about versatility, Jovi is outstandingly more versatile than Sarkodie. Jovi is not going to go on social media and be asking for hip-hop beats, because he can do it. When it's about language, cutting across the 2 most important languages in the world, French and English, he's perfect at both, and he can actually really deliver. So what are we really talking about? When Jovi says he's the hardest in Africa, what does he mean? What does he actually really mean? Now, hip-hop is about lyrics, bars, and rhymes, and stuff like that. And we've been having a lot of stuff going on about who is the hardest in Africa. We already know that one of our greatest lyricists in Africa, of course, I can definitely give that to M.I. Apaga because of the poetry invested in his rhymes. I will also give that to Jovi Lemon, bars and rhymes. But again, I want to tell you something. Now I'm talking from the fact that I consume Jovi Lemon's product. I listen to M.I., I listen to Sarkodie, I listen to Jovi, but I relate to Jovi's song, and I can tell you that because of course the perspective, the angle from which I listen to his song, and how much it relates to me. What's my point here? My point here is that bars and rhymes and all the stuff that happens in the lyrics of a song is also subjective. As far as music is concerned and as far as hip-hop is concerned, let me be very clear with you about one thing. In fact, hip-hop is like beauty, because of course beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You can't force me to like Sarkodie over Jovi, but you can't tell me to like Jovi over Sarkodie. In fact, the hip-hop culture is based on ego and a lot of violence. Looking back and dating back at what hip-hop is, you will realize that hip-hop has been about ego, people bragging. An artist has a right to say what he's good at. This was often fixed by people going back to the studio and then bred violence because people don't want their ego smashed. But that's the hip-hop culture, and Jovi has a right to vent that he's the greatest in Africa. If Sarkodie thinks that he's the best and he has time to also do that, he should come out and say he's the best in Africa. In fact, our concern in all of this craze that happened on social media wasn't even really about Jovi saying that he's the greatest in Africa or talking about the other person saying that he's the greatest in Africa. My concern, and one of the things that really shocked me, were the reactions that came after that from artists. There is this particular artist who is always waiting for these two people to be a loggerhead so that he can start chasing clout, and that's Lyrical Joe. Now people are calling him Lyrical Josephine or Lyrical Johnson or whatever it is they want to call him. But it's crazy. How is it possible that an artist is not known for anything else in his career but beef? How do you set your career on beef? How do you just want to feed off any beef that happened? And this guy went to release 2 bets or whatever it is. A few minutes later on, he's probably going to get into the studio and say 1 or 2 things about Cameroon and insult the government and stuff and all of the hazards that we had in our country, and say 1, 2, 3 things about Jovi. And Cameroonians are going to hail and be like, oh, dude, you nailed it. You killed that guy. You messed up. What's wrong with Cameroonians? What's wrong with Cameroonians? To add sauce to injury, you have artists who have barely tried to grow their platform now blaming Jovi Lemon for greed, and they're saying that our industry is like this because Jovi Lemon is greedy. I mean, this was coming from Skitty Boy. Has anything ever shocked me like this on the internet? I was like, no. How can you blame your retarded artistry on another artist? No, bro, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Jovi has a right to rant because he has a discography to show for it, and probably fans are going to hail it. But don't say the reason why our industry is like this or like that is because Jovi Lemon. Like, that's crazy, bro. Man, nigga, you need to focus on your art and make the music happen. When this happened, other artists in the industry decided to pick up and say, I'm going to put out a diss track as concerned Lyrical Joe. I mean, there was a girl rapper, Sabine, Sabine 237, as she calls herself, who came and was saying that she needs to put out that Jovi, focus on Sarkodie. Let me handle this little boy called Lyrical Joe. Our industry is so crazy, bro. I mean, I didn't know Sabine is, but she wants to destroy Lyrical Joe, bro. I mean, Poker also put out a song. You know who Poker is? Poker recently put out some cultural rhymes, of course, which has become like an anthem in the US based, Cameroonians based in the US. It was an amazing song. He also did his own diss track. Of course, you use whatever it is you can bounce on, right, and get the attention. Do you even know what shocked me the most about all of this? Otang. Do you know the female rapper Otang? Otang also came sending threats at Lyrical Joe and saying, yo, why did you disrespect my life? I'm going to nail you in a rap song. Damn! This industry can never cease to amaze me, man. It's great. Water, man. Give me water. Damn, crazy. Dude, what did you put in this? Damn. That is yellow. Otang is going to nail Lyrical Joe, man. I think that for a second, that's who are really supposed to hand Lyrical Joe to. Can handle him. Trust me, whether who is strong or who is weak, that doesn't matter to me. I just really like to consume good music. And again, if you understand the hip-hop culture, you're just going to let these people rant when they want to rant about who is the greatest in Africa or who is the weakest in Africa, and that, trust me when I say that doesn't really matter to me. I'm talking about people who are saying, yo, Jovi, you need to do an international collaboration and stuff. I'm like, dude, did you listen to HIV? Jovi's first album, HIV? Because he did a collaboration with Yusufa's father.
Pitié, toi mon amour, pitié, toi mon cœur. Je travaille nuit et jour pourtant.
I mean, and yes, if you like look at me and be saying I'm on Boko Gang written all over my face and stuff, nigga, it's true. Dude did a collaboration with Yusufa's dad some years back. Did he do another one after that? We don't know. But come on, man, come on. When Manu Dibango was singing his songs and stuff, people were not concerned about whether he did it. People didn't even know him until he only got international recognition when Michael Jackson jumped on his Makosa, and then Rihanna did too. Let me tell you something. How good your work is how good your work is. Okay, good stuff, they don't hide. Okay, now in conclusion to this very, very long show, if you disagree with me that who the greatest in Africa is depends on the beholder or the lover of the music, if you really disagree with me, then you, that boy watching me right now, go back home. Or right now, if your girlfriend is by you, look at her and tell her that Rihanna is prettier than her. See if she's not going to get pissed. I mean, of course, she's going to get pissed because she thinks that she's the prettiest in the world. But is she? But you are with her. It's not because she's the prettiest in the world. She's probably not even pretty. But of course, you like her like that. That's what music is, man. That's what hip-hop is, man. They have the right to brag. They have the right to say whatever they want to say. Jovi has the right to use his keyboard however he wants, and he's pulling and hyping his art and keeping the Cameroon music industry relevant. I don't care how you see it. Right now, I'm talking about it, and there is content because he said something. In my conclusion, just enjoy music, man. Enjoy hip-hop. Forget who the greatest is, who biggest is and stuff. We don't care. And that's all we had for you this week. You love our show and you love what we're giving you, please endeavor to follow us on our several social media platforms, especially our Instagram platform. And you know how it is. Don't leave this place until you have clicked that red button below. Subscribe, because when you subscribe and ring the bell, you even get the information faster than anyone else. We're always here to give you what's hot and what's not. It's your ever smiling boy, Karawa.
I know I'm die poor. I will walk, sleep on floor. I want me run me them up. The way we run our phone. I want me run me them up. The way we run I'm online. I want me run I'm again. As you be run at that time. I want me run I'm again. As you be run I'm online. All the mutumbu we don't the yard. I'm so the thing I knock door. In speed day, no feel like Joe floor my front door. Open me eye and swear to God, yeah I go.
In your diary